Yes, hello and welcome to another vlog from Banal Rider. Today we're testing out the Piaggio MP3 300 HPE sports version. It has a different color. There are, I think, three different colors in the sports, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. And without sports we have two colors, or the other way around. This is a three-wheeler, and in Europe, I think in general, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so, you can ride these with just a regular car license, because it is more like a car than a scooter. At least that's what the government thinks. Therefore, we have a brake pedal, as maybe you can see. Also, we have the width of the tires in the front. It has a special width. Therefore, you know, they say, okay, it rides almost like a car, which is of course not true. And you need some training to actually ride this, because it actually rides more like a bike, like a scooter. Anyways, yeah, this is the MP3. It has now in this year Euro 5 compliant 26 horsepower, so it is more powerful than last year because of the Euro 5 adaptation, I think. Nothing really else changed. In the front we still don't have any LEDs. In the rear we do have LEDs. The blinkers are LEDs, so it's kind of a funny mix once again. The cockpit, the instrument panel is fairly outdated, but I will show this to you in a moment. So let's first get to the controls here. On the left hand side we have the left brake lever, which actuates actually the rear brake. Then we have the a light switch here. We have high beam, low beam and passing light. We have a turn signal switch here in the middle to reset. We have the horn here. We have the hazard lights here. And on the right hand side we have the throttle, of course. We have the brake lever for the front brakes. We have the kill switch right here. We have the switch for the stability control, which is turned on at the moment. You know, I do not use any of stand or anything like that, and you know, it just levels itself, or you know, in the position actually you put it in. We have a mode switch for the display, and we have the starter switch here. That's everything, I think. Oh, there's a little console here as well down here. You can turn on or off the ASR, the traction control. You can actually ride with low beam, low beam, or you can ride with the daytime running lights. Both are acceptable with this kind of bike. I'm kind of amazed as well, but yeah, that's what it is. Also, we have a hook here for your grocery bags if you want, and then we have the ignition switch right there. You can open up the fuel tank or fuel cap, and you can also open up the trunk space. We do not have any cubby holes here, or this is actually the parking brake here. We do not have any cubby holes down there, but we have a cubby hole up there, which is very convenient. I think you can put your smartphone in there. We have a USB connection up there, and it feels really sturdy and nice and practical. So this is the instrument panel. On top we have all these funny blinking lights, indicator lights, sorry, which is what is wrong and which is not, you know. Down there below we have actually, it shows the tilt control on off. It shows the parking brake is on, and I don't know why there's a red. I have no idea what this red one's there. I didn't have that before. Maybe the pressure is low or something and it's going to tip over soon. I don't know. I don't hope so. I do not hope so. Anyways, on the left hand side, let's do it quickly so it doesn't tip over here. On the left hand side we have the speedometer. The fuel gauge is included in there, and on the right hand side we have the RPM counter, and the coolant gauge is integrated there. In the middle we have an LCD display with, on top on the left hand side we have the ambient outside temperature. On the right we have the clock. In the middle and down below, two lines we can switch around with the mode switch. We press it once, we can we switch the mode switch. We switch the display once, press it once. We have the remaining mileage. We have a time, you know, you can reset the time here, the trip time. You have the average speed. You have the maximum speed. We have the voltage of the battery. We have the actual fuel consumption. And we have, what else do we have here? The average fuel consumption in kilometers per liter. And that's it. If you press it twice quickly in a row, you go to the lower display. You have trip A and B, and we have the odometer. There we go. You have the odometer, and that's about it. So let's open up the trunk or the storage space underneath the seat. You press the ignition, press down on the ignition switch and turn it to the left, and you open up the seat. And here is the seat. So this is the seat. I think the space is basically like a medley. It looks like it. We also have a light here, a courtesy light on the right hand side, and that's all there is to it in the storage space here. So this is the Piaggio MP3 300 2021 model with Euro 5 compliant. We will take it now back to the dealer, and I will show you a bit how it rides and how it handles. Yes, the seating position is fairly straightforward, meaning it is like a toilet. You sit like on a toilet, you don't have much room for your feet, so you cannot really escape the toilet position. The seat is fairly hard, but I think for longer stretches quite comfortable. Yeah, better than very, very soft and mushy. You know, usually that is not so comfortable, so it is fairly hard. The lumbar support is a bit in the way of your behind sometimes, I think, but I guess that, you know, it also depends on what your size is and everything, you know. Anyways, yeah, this is a 26 horsepower three-wheeler. You can ride it with a regular car license. Yeah, I have noticed already it's supposed to be actually safer in the corners, safer when it's rainy, safer when the road is slippery. This might be true, but I still, you know, if you come from a regular two-wheeled bike, it still feels kind of insecure and not really that safe in the corners. It's maybe because of the tires, which are 13-inch in the front and 14-inch in the rear, so very small tires, and it's like almost like a Vespa, which has very small tires, and it is kind of unstable in the corners. That's what I wanted to point out, and which I don't really like, you know. So let's, since we have this talked about, let's go and see what else is there. You know, the suspension is pretty good. I tried that out already. Pretty good suspension on bumpy roads. As I said, you can ride it with your car license. Usually, at least, you know, in I think most of the European countries like Spain and Germany, you can definitely ride it when you have just a regular car license. I think you might have to have it, I don't know, for a few years, and then you can ride it. Although it is not a car, and it's not half or 1/4 of a car. It is more like a scooter or like a bike. So, you know, I don't know why they want it to be like with this foot pedal here. Oh yeah, pretty good braking power with the foot pedal here. I don't know why they want this to be like a car, you know, since you're coming from a car, but actually it, you know, it feels more like a bike because it leans and everything. A car doesn't really lean, you know, it stays on the road. Anyways, we'll try this foot pedal again. It was really strong braking power, so that's what I like. Braking power. Oh yeah, very good, very good. Very good braking power. Yeah, about the cornering here, you have to get used to it because, you know, it at first it doesn't feel so stable, but when you get used to it, you know the boundaries, you know how it rides, how it feels, how it handles, and then I think you can have a lot of fun with it as well. So what else can I say about it? It's a little bit less powerful than like a Yamaha X-Max 300. Also, Tri-City I think has the same engine as the X-Max, so Tri-City is more powerful. I have ridden the Tri-City 300 a long time ago, so I cannot really compare this anymore to the power of this one here. But it might be actually similar, you know. Of course, it all depends on in the end of the weight. You know, this might be actually lighter than the Tri-City because the Tri-City is a fairly big scooter. So it has ABS, and of course I actually want to say something about the brakes as well. So, you know, since you have good stopping power here, and I can feel actually the ABS kicking in there. You have good stopping power, but with a three-wheeler you always have 3 wheels, you always have 3 discs, so I'd say it has very good stopping power, maybe even better than a regular bike because it has 3 disc brakes, you know. So it has ABS, it has ASR, meaning traction control. You can turn it on or off, whatever you like. I mean the ASR, not the ABS. And yeah, especially for people who come from a car, I think, you know, and they don't want to make a motorcycle license, I think this is a very good alternative because you get more power than like on a, I don't know, maybe a 125 that you can even ride with your car license. You get more power, but you have just 3 wheels. But you know, it doesn't really matter. As long as you don't mind, you know, the instability, the little instabilities in the corners. For me, that would be a no-no. But you know, as I said, you can get used to it, and then you have a stronger, more powerful bike than you can ride with your regular car license. Anyways, I'm talking a lot of crap here, I can see already. 1, 2, 3, go. So on the freeway there's a lot of wind, of course, and this wind protection does actually hit my helmet, so it's not really that helpful, but not too bad with the turbulences at the moment. Not too bad with the turbulences at the moment, and it is actually quite nice, you know, at higher speeds. It rides quite nicely. It is fairly stable, it doesn't wobble around. And yeah, very straight runner. So I don't really have anything to complain at higher speeds about this. So I assume even for longer trips, for traveling, maybe on the autovia, on the road, on the highway or freeway, it is pretty nice. Even with a pillion in the back, of course it will be a little bit more difficult, but still acceptable, I think. So cornering, once again, final verdict, not so good, unstable, feels unstable if you come from a two-wheeler, but this highway riding is actually a lot of fun. It seems very stable, and yeah, I can also highly recommend it to anyone, especially to the people who only have a car license and don't want to make their motorcycle license. But as I said, you know, watch out, take care of these corners and curves here. You might have to learn just, you know, how to take them, and that you don't tip over there or something, you know, because it's just a matter of getting used to.